Most SaaS founders waste money on ads that don't work. The truth? The best marketing strategy costs $0, and it's how some of the biggest SaaS companies started. On this week's episode of Tactics, we're going to be breaking down what you can do to get your product out there, let people know that you exist, all for $0, getting your first users without paying a penny. Right out the gate, most paid ads fail early because people think to themselves, well, I've got my product now, I want people to know about it, so I'm going to start paying for ads. And then people see those ads, click on them, and then start using my product. This isn't the reality for most people. The truth is, most founders jump into paid ads way too early and hit a ceiling because they just burn cash way too fast and they don't know who their target audience is. And the reality is, if you don't have that on lock, you're just going to be throwing money into the void of Instagram and Facebook, hoping on a wing and a prayer that people are going to convert. But it's not going to happen because you don't know who your target audience is and you don't actually have a marketing strategy crafted towards them because you don't know. So let's break down exactly what you should and shouldn't do when you're trying to market your SaaS for the first time, making sure that you actually get real users who would want to pay for your product, or if they don't want to pay, give you real feedback. Now, right off the bat, one of the best free marketing strategies that you can use is Reddit, a collection or community of people that may be your target audience and is a great place to start to validate. Because in this case, r/build in public is one example of people posting their products and wanting to help each other, lift each other up. They may not be your target audience, or they may be if you're building something for other builders, but for the most part, you're going to get your first real honest feedback about how your app looks, how your app functions, and if somebody would actually pay for it, or based on their experience, what you should do next. Because if we know anything, it's that people love offering their advice and sharing their opinions about anything and absolutely everything, including your SaaS. The one thing, of course, is that you have to avoid spamming at all costs. Every single one of these communities has a no spam thing saying spamming links, irrelevant content, or unsolicited advertisements will lead to immediate removal. Keep the focus on building and learning together. So with that being said, a tactic that I see a lot of founders using on these types of pages, instead of just bragging about, oh, I woke up to 500 MRR, is that, hey, I'm building this cool tool. What are your thoughts about this specific strategy I want to try? And that way, it's less so an advertisement and more so them just saying, hey, this is what I've built. I am curious about this one thing. It's still an ad. You're still advertising whatever it is you're selling. But at the end there, by adding in a really thoughtful question that really incentivizes people to actually discuss whatever it is you're asking about, you've created a spot where your thing seems like less of an advertisement and more so just learning and asking for feedback. And that can be the case where it gets you a lot of users. This is the 5 stages of awareness, and full credit for this chart goes to Growth Marketer. This infographic shows unaware to most aware, which are the stages between somebody actually being completely oblivious to whatever it is you're building to being fully in the know about whatever it is you're building. At the unaware stage, nobody's aware of their desire or need to solve the problem, or they honestly won't admit it. This is where you've built something, nobody knows who you are. Most aware, this is where they know of what you do, and they're probably aware that whatever you do could solve their problem, but they just actually haven't purchased yet. Now, at this stage, they are fully aware, and the last thing you need to do is actually just get them into purchasing it. I'm sure you can imagine why putting just a bunch of ads out into the void in the beginning is a waste of money, because for the most part, most people are in this unaware stage or problem aware stage, but they just don't know who you are. So if they see your ad, they aren't really going to go ahead and purchase because at this point, they don't even know what you do. They don't even know what problem you solve. And I guarantee you, your ad on Facebook that they see for half a second is probably not going to convince them to go through and buy whatever it is you're selling. So let me ask you, where are the majority of your customers at right now? If they're at the unaware stage, you're probably watching this video saying, I haven't posted a damn thing about my product and nobody knows about me. But if you're at the most aware stage, you should probably be running to go and put advertisements out because you should know who your target audience is. You should know what their needs are and you should know exactly how to advertise for them. So I'm assuming that the majority of people watching this video are going to be somewhere in the middle here. You're either problem aware, solution aware, or product aware. And there's very different tactics that you should employ when you're trying to get each of these. Problem aware is where you're going to start out posting in Reddit communities. People are aware that there's a problem that they have to solve, but they aren't aware of any specific solutions. You just want to get out there and be visible as a solution to a potential problem that your customers have. If your customers are in the solution aware stage, you should be focusing on SEO and you should be focusing on content. Just putting out stuff so that people know that there's a solution to their problem and they know that you are the specific solution to solve it. It may not be just be one ad, for instance. They may have to see a couple bits of content from you or search you up on the web to find whatever it is you're selling, but this is the stage where people are aware of the problem, they just need to find you. Finally, once the users are aware that your product actually exists, that's where demos and Discord communities are going to come into play. Things like this in the product aware stage is where people know you exist, but they're not totally sure of what exactly you do, and maybe you solved the problem, they aren't sure. So which of these should you do? Well, the truth is, you should have marketing tactics in play for every one of these stages. You should have tactics to make sure that people are just made aware that this is a problem that they need solving. Or if it isn't a problem, what are you doing? Then we got our problem aware, solution aware, product aware, where you should be having little hooks at every stage to get a specific target of your customers. The customers who are aware they have the problem, but they aren't aware of you, you should have a specific plan for that. The solution aware, you should have a specific plan for that. Product aware, you should have a specific plan for that. And finally, for the users who know everything there is to know about you, but they just haven't paid you yet, that is where you actually advertise. In the beginning, your advertising budget should primarily cater to the most aware, because these are the people who have the highest % chance of actually converting. Now, unless you have a massive advertising budget, you probably aren't going to want to cater to all these people with ads in the beginning. You're going to want to reach out to them organically, like Discord communities, like through Reddit, through all these other free marketing tools before you actually get to putting ads out to the most aware. And if you can employ all these little hooks at each of these 5 stages, you get a totally free marketing budget until you actually want to get users fully converted. If you're building software and don't want to drain cash on ads, start using this strategy today. And hey, subscribe for more tactics like this on how to grow your revenue without draining your runway.